What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here, Unsleeved Media. I hope you're having a delicious Monday. I've got muy caliente sports to watch today as a Wisconsin resident, but I realize I've been slacking on keeping up on my dead TCGs, and I assure you, I have two shelves sitting over there just full of these things, and I owe you more. I owe you better content. If you want to keep the dead TCGs coming, please just remember to hit that thumbs up button and leave me a comment, whether you played the game, whether you liked the game, or a game that you want to see me cover in future episodes. So here, when I was at Gen Con, rest in pepperonis, Gen Con for me, I will never be able to return, as it sounds. I saw this trading card game, Deadlands Doomtown. There are several episodes. This actually was a WOTC product, but I want to go through some of the history here and share it with you, I suppose. So you can see that WOTC, Wizards of the Coast, had actually bought this Deadlands rights from Five Rings Publishing Group. They released or produced 9 episodes, the Pine Box reprint, and the first 3 expansions. When their contract with Pinnacle ended, WOTC chose to end their production. Although the game had good sales in the United States and Europe, fans figured the game had died when they stopped seeing updates. AEG purchased a license to publish from Pinnacle Entertainment Group and WOTC Deadlands and restarted production, and a good deal of its following had already moved away. AEG worked diligently to get the base set to reprint and spent a great deal of capital to create the Boot Hill set, which was unfortunately a set of reprints. And as you know, with reprints, that never ends well. Magic the Gathering, we had some of the most historic reprint sets, like Chronicles, nearly killed the game. But when I was at Gen Con this year, I noticed that these boxes are actually still pretty expensive. I think this box was maybe $100 or so. That's usually an indication that there is a secondary market or a continuing playgroup. And the thing with Doomtown is there's a plugin for it both on Lackey CCG and Octagon. So Octagen, OCTGN. So fans continued to hope AEG will keep its word and put Deadlands back into print. Some wrote AEG and John Zinsser annually, asking to keep his word about bringing Deadlands back, even in a minor way. There are rumors and leaks that something was in the works since 2011. There was a comment made on Board Game Geek that if it was in the works to 2014 at Gen Con. But this game is actually now known as Doomtown Reloaded, and it is an expandable card game based on the Deadlands role-playing game. Originally, back when it was a CCG, and it ran from 1998 to 2001. It was revived as the Reloaded version in 2014. Doomtown is a heavily story-driven game with many tie-ins to the events of the Deadlands at large. In both of its iterations, players were given opportunities to affect the storyline, such as through tournaments where players vote on characters to live or die. There are a lot of different interesting things here. You've got a lot of different decks. You've got actions. The types of cards are either an action, a dude, a goods, an event, a deeds, a spell, or an improvement, and finally, the jokers. Decks must be exactly 52 cards, plus 1 outfit card and up to 2 jokers. There can be no more than 4 copies of any one card in the same deck, and no more than 4 copies of a card with the same value and suit in the deck. So interestingly enough, it's not dissimilar from Magic the Gathering. Let's open this up. Let's ruin a $100 bill here. Take a look at one of these packs. I'm going to try to open it using the overhead camera as I'm trying to rearrange. Now, this is they called them saddlebags. They went all the way with the lore. So inside you've got, let's see if it tells us anything. It contains 15 cards. We already knew that. Do they have anything about, no matter how bad things are, they can always get worse. Brother, that's a truth. Somebody iced Sheriff Coleman, and what's left of the law went with them. We've got the Collegium and the precious Ghost Rock Supply. Ghost hunters and lunatics from both sides of the Mason-Dixon are hunting the things in the shadows, then trying to tell us that it's all okay. As someone suggested, the Blackjacks gang may have killed J.P. Coleman, putting the rest of the Law Dogs on full-bore vendetta. Strap yourself in, partner. Doomtown just got worse. And this one was original. This is Pinnacle in AEG. Oh, that's pretty rad. So the cards are like poker cards. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple here. So I got the pistols. Flim. Here's Coleman's badge. This is unique. Sonic Destructible Ray. So it's got a bit of... We've got your surrounded. I have always had a soft spot for Westerns, of course. So you've got Flam. Let's see if we can find it. Look Homeward Mind. Sanctify. The Gaping Maw Strike. You got a little bit of everything here. I don't really see any rarity on these cards, which is interesting. You've got your costs down here. Buffalo Chip Saloon. Let's look at Susie 309. Gadget Dude, difficulty 8. Susie cannot begin the game in play. To bring Susie into play, you must make a skill pull as if Susie were a gadget being attached to one of your mad scientists. Susie enters play in the scientist's location. I'll take a look at another box, but essentially, there are 4 different phases. You have the gambling phase. This is a round of low ball poker, where the worst hand actually wins. The winner gets 1 GR from each other player and wins initiative. Then after that is the upkeep phase, the high noon phase, which is the main part of each turn. So Magic the Gathering, this is like the main phase. And then you have nightfall, which is the end of each turn. Hence, like in Magic, you had your end step. The game may be won during that phase. Otherwise, each player prepares for the next turn. Booted cards are unbooted. Play hands are refilled. And the player with the most influence at nightfall is rewarded with an extra bonus card. Let's open another pack. So winning and losing. As the game progresses, a player may end up in a weak position, losing all of your dudes. But it is possible to recover from such a position. The game is won when during nightfall, one player has more control plus victory points than the highest total influence of a single opponent. Control points are acquired by controlling deeds that provide them. Deeds are controlled by the player with the most influence at the deed. If there's a tie and the owner of the deed controls it, some goods also have control points. Oh, I'm sorry. If there's a tie, the owner controls it. Let's see if there's a deed in here. The art really reminds me of kind of that old... Here's a deed. So here we have the legal offices of Your Name here. Controller Noon. Pay 3 Ghost Rock to gain 1 control point until after nightfall. A player may not perform this action more than twice per turn. The last guy lasted 5 days. I'm betting 2-1 that the next one gets plugged even earlier. I really enjoy kind of the looking at some of these old games. Now, my videos are never really going to be, basically, an ultra how to play. I just figure I do them so that people who still like this game can, get a little nostalgia. And let's open in one more pack. The game actually had originally 10 outfits. You had the Blackjacks, the Law Dogs, Collegium, Sweet Rock Mining Company, the Watales, Sioux Nation, Maze Rats, the Texas Rangers, the Agency, and the Lost Angels. Back in '98, Deadlands actually won at the Origins Award for Best Trading Card Game. It really shows you the life of a trading card game can be fleeting. They pushed out what looks like a ton of expansions. A ton of them. But I do like the idea of a game inside of a game. Here you have an ace of clubs, blueprints, a game inside of a game to different ways to enjoy it. But when you look at the actual sets that came out, it was a lot. They pushed out 5 sets in 99. 1, 2, 3 in 2000, 2 in 2001. That's a lot of sets to push down on people, but it seems like it still has a very strong following. And if you do play Doomtown, maybe the comment section down below, you'll find someone else who wants to play. I would love to hear if you played it at the time, if there were tournaments, competitive play, anything like that, and what the secondary market was like. Were you buying singles for this game? I wasn't sure if each pack would have all of the same things in them, but it would appear that they're all different. So what was there? Could you get singles, or did everyone just have to buy booster packs? I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, and we'll talk to you again real soon.